good morning, and welcome to Wednesday, the 24th of June. All right, let's wait for it to do its thing. And it's taking its time today. The internet is very laggy today, so we'll see how this goes. We do have an overcast day, but it's very still. It's not windy, so yeah. So good morning, and welcome to we still have the Libran moon all the way through to 4:43 when it moves into Scorpio. There's my evil Scorpio laugh. All right. Okay. So, like I was saying, I'm very unprepared. Sorry, I was doing other stuff this morning and I was like, oh my God, it's 8:30. All right, so if I go to now. All right, so we've got the sun at 2.5 degrees of Cancer, and Mercury and Jupiter also in Cancer. So we've still got a lot of emotion. I've been doing weather forecasting, so I'm looking at this going, we've got a lot of water, and looking outside the window, there is definitely a lot of water. So good morning, Deborah. How are you? Snuggled up in bed there. All right. So, like I said, the moon is at 25 degrees of Libra. However, the first thing that we have this morning is the moon in conjunct Mars. All right. So now Mars in Taurus wants to stay in bed and sit in the lounge. You're just doing perfect, Aries lady. Just stay in bed. So because an in conjunct is, there is adjustment required. People aren't talking the same language, and the whole day is full of potential miscommunications with Mercury at a very, very slow pace today. And like I said, so some sort of adjustment which could result in anger or frustration at that first point, that Mars in Taurus. Fucking leave me alone. All right. I get that you want to do the thing and find some equilibrium, but I'm all like, no. All right. So the next one up is Moon trine Sun. Lovely. All right. Moon in Libra going, oh, come on, we can do it. And the Sun, like, all right, let's offer a little bit of nurturing here so that everybody, good morning, Mikkel, how are you? So that everybody can get their needs met. All right. So that's at 10:30. All right. So I'll read the words. Don't let minor irritations early in the day follow you through. It may take on a life of its own, resulting in hurts that did not need to be revisited so viscerally. Instead, by being aware that there will be likely some shadows addressed, pack a headlamp and some snacks because there is work to be done and a queen requires nourishment. All right, so going back to the aspects of the day, like I said, first off, you might just feel like you're not ready to get going, but you know that there's work to be done. All right, so again, how can you prepare yourself the best this morning? If you need food to get started, first off, do you need to go for a walk? Do you need to have a shower? Do you need to drink some water? Like, what is it that's going to help you adjust to the day? Is sort of just what I'm feeling. All right, because the moon is still in Libra, which is mental, so it's like a mental adjustment here as well. All right, so at after 1, all right, there is a square to Pluto starting. Okay, so just be prepared for that clarity or truth or some sort of, that's why I've said pack the headlamp, because we're going to have to look at stuff today. So at 2 p.m., a square to Jupiter. Again, is there too much on your plate? Do you need to say no to something because you can, again, with the whole sensory experience that we've got now with Chiron in Taurus, I'm going to continue to talk about this. How do you feel? Like, what are your senses saying? All right. So that moon in Libra square Jupiter in Cancer. Yeah, I know, but I just don't wanna. All right, I'm cold, I'm snuggly. Maybe that's the type of thing, or you just don't have the energy to do so much, expectations, responsibilities. All right, now at 5 o'clock, sorry, 4:43, moon moves into Scorpio. All right, so here we are, Scorpio vibes start 4:43, and then at 5 o'clock, an opposition to Chiron is exact. All right, so again, sensitive topics could be getting addressed where your wound is visible, However, if you're in the right state of mind and in the right flow, then you're aware that the depths are coming. Oh, okay. Good morning, Louise. How are you? All right. So that was at 5 o'clock. Now after 6, here's where some more inconjunct start. All right. Remembering that this basket boot, oh, I forgot his name already. Babu's basket. I don't know. And to me, it looks like an elephant stool. Anyway, not a poo, an actual circus stool. Anyway, and look at the freaking circus that we have around us. Anyway, so the basket. All right, so after 6 and in conjunct with Uranus starts. All right, so the moon's in Scorpio and we're in those depths. All right, we're looking at our triggers and traumas because Pluto started at 1 o'clock. All right, so that square to Pluto started at 1. We're in the Scorpio vibes. What is the in conjunct? What is the adjustment? Good morning, Karen. How are you? What is the adjustment to your cognitive awareness? All right, Uranus in Gemini, Moon in Scorpio, Pluto in play, in conjunct, saying, okay, I need to weigh this up somehow, or how can I come to some sort of awareness? Is it like two different languages being spoken? Is it like you're on that seesaw and you really need to brace your core to find that inner balance? Like how is this potentially playing out for you? All right, so after 6, that Uranus, after 8, Neptune in conjunct. All right, so again, the moon will be in Scorpio at that time. So I think, look, in general, because of the way everything is coming through via transit, in the morning it's going to be slow to start, but we see that we need to do something. All right, but what I'm suggesting is to nurture yourself first, to give yourself the support to go get the stuff done, knowing that all of this stuff is potentially going to happen in the afternoon. Remember, we don't want it to run away from us. We don't want cranky words to continue throughout the day, when you can just say, hey, hang on a minute. I'm trying to express something that is new and unusual, and I don't exactly know what I'm doing. This is my words to Mick this morning, because I was like, how does this sound? And I just, bleh, and he was like, oh, fuck, I don't know. So I had to stop and go, okay, I'm trying to express something that I'm not 100% sure on. So your reaction was warranted because I just word vomited at you. All right. So again, I took that responsibility and said, all right, no. How can I make an adjustment so that the outside of me can understand what the inside of me is trying to say? All right. Deb says it all the time to me. She's like, so what I'm hearing is the so maybe that's something that you can do today. If you see the look of on someone's face and the look changes, what did you just do? Again, it's not about blame and shame. It's about expressing a tricky subject rationally and in a way that everybody can hear and receive what is trying to be spoken. All right. Now, in the sky yesterday, I was telling you that the sun is. Good morning, Julie. How are you? Oh, we're only like 8 minutes in. You're good. All right. So in the sky, Sun square Neptune. All right. Again, this journey into the underworld state that we're in today, it could be challenging your values, your beliefs, your awareness, your spiritual perspective. All right. So there is a Sun in Cancer, square Neptune in Aries. Again, that are the things that you were taught from your family and ancestry and tradition, uh, causing tension to the beliefs that you see about yourself right now. All right. Your current belief experience is challenging your past. All right. And also that Sun in conjunct Pluto. Pluto's in Aquarius going, your future lay this way. All right. But your sun in Cancer says, but tradition decree that this is what you do. All right. So again, what's the adjustment required that you need to go into those Pluto realms to discover so that you can find that balance? All right. Mercury conjunct Jupiter and square Chiron is also giving you that that wisdom and awareness and the ability to see those wounds that were passed on from previous um, parents and grandparents and tradition and then ancestry. Good morning, Amy. How are you? All right, everybody. Chink, coffee. All right. Mm. And that's what you've got to do all day. When you find yourself in that state where you're like, ah, fucking calm down, have a big drink of water, have a bit of coffee, do something, go outside, change your environment. If you feel yourself in a heightened state of emotion today, do something different. All right, you need to be aware of your condition so that you can change things for your self-worth and your betterment. All right, Venus is in Leo, ladies. All right, royals have a job to do. All right, can you let's just go back to Queen Elizabeth. All right, because she's the best queen that we've ever known. um and you know, she had responsibilities that she completed those with grace and poise. And you know, there was never any drama when it came to Queen Elizabeth because she was so aware of her role in life. And then I'm not saying that you need to take on unacceptable responsibility, but just standing there with your crown firmly placed upon your head and just knowing that this is part of the job. All right. Okay. So, I mean, for the other stuff, again, all of those, you know, the outer planet transit stuff is completely like around us. And again, it is the external environment that we're going to have to adjust to. So whether that is, you know, society as a collective, we're definitely heading into a period of great change, or whether it's you looking at your work, you know, that is your outside environment. You looking at your you know, extended family, sun is in Cancer. So it's more about, you know, your future as it is in relation to your current experience based on your past. So it's all so convoluted. All right, it's all so much about just stopping. You know, by the time I got to Saturday, and we've got a Sagittarian moon on Saturday. All right, so we're in this Scorpio moon from 4:43 through till Saturday morning 4:40. And oh my God, so being in that place where you can see all of the drama, I sort of feel like one of those reels where you can see the world imploding behind the person that is just calmly walking ahead in life. I sort of feel like that's what this is, you know? So definitely stay centered and grounded and aware of your senses and act upon those things that you can control in your environment. And if it is stopping and saying, all right, maybe I didn't express that in the right way, like I did with Mick this morning, I was very much like, it, that was a me thing then. That wasn't a you not understanding what I was saying. I just fucking spoke gibberish to you. So I have to stop and then try and reword. So again, I feel like this is going to be one of those prickly, triggering days where everybody's going to get triggered in some sort of way, but you don't have to engage in their thing because you're already in your own. All right, so let's draw a Scorpio card. I know it's not here yet, but I'm going to get the most of them. All right, so I think the trickiest time may be all day. Actually, looking at all of that, I just think it's going to be a continuing sort of snowballing type of effect. So again, when you feel it in the first sense, don't let it steamroll. Okay, helps if I actually get the cards out of the pack. All right. What card is going to be perfect? So we're lucky we get these Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Oh, this one. It's the same one we got the other day. Self-sabotage. I don't know when I did that one, but self-sabotage. All right, so be very aware. I'm going to draw another one just because I feel like it. Um, so again, going back to self-sabotage is tradition, decree, I need to do this, all right? Whereas you know that you want to do that now, but you keep getting stuck in past, not future. So there's that one. Keep that one out. All right. Okay. I appreciate that one. However, I want another one. Oh, patience. I don't think I've ever drawn this card out of this pack, but patience, isn't she just lovely? All right, so it is card number 23. She's sitting in a beautiful arbor, looking at something in her hand with that beautiful dappled light. All right, so patience. You must develop patience in all areas of your life. Patience does not mean that you give up and do nothing. On the contrary, you need to be aware of several aspects of the circumstances that you are facing. Patience requires you to stop pushing, rushing, and creating potentially explosive situations. Um, Patience is not my thing. Karen, what's going to happen if you're not patient? All right, if you are impatient with a particular person, oh, sorry, instead it asks you to see the bigger picture and become aware of the ingredients that might be missing. If you are impatient with a particular person, instead give them space. Avoid jumping to conclusions and making up dramatic stories about a person or a situation without being aware of all the details. You have an opportunity to let go of judgment. Always look for the truth of a situation, not what someone is saying or doing, but why. Patience can also be connected to a health condition you are recovering from, a new diet or an exercise program you have embarked upon, or a new course of study that you may have begun. Thank you. That was directly to me. So, the action that it says is focus on one thing at a time. Say to yourself, I accept what is without judgment. I am willing to practice patience and presence. All right, I love that one. And just like I said about the earlier, when you feel yourself getting, the energy's rising or the frustration's rising, stop, have a sip of your coffee. In the words I also wrote, um, you know, pack a headlamp and some snacks, all right? Because, making sure that you are eating, you're not hangry, you're not frustrated, you're not dehydrated. Like, what is your physical body doing that it needs service, all right? So we are here today to serve ourselves first. And like the card said, patience to know that everybody is in the same boat and that they might not have enough personal awareness or even just spiritual awareness of what's going on around them. So, definitely a day for you to become self aware, address things carefully, listen to what you're saying or think about what you're saying first. Remember, Mercury is slow. All right, so communication is slow, and we will revisit this point. I still haven't done that tracking yet. I apologize. But, Mercury's conjunction to Jupiter is making everything bigger than what it could be. All right, so just be aware of that as well. And, you know, um, yeah, definitely about addressing the narrative. All right, so in that card, it said what's missing. All right, so people are acting in a certain way. What are they not aware of, or what are they not, addressing themselves? So it feels like a lot, but it's just really about, knowing where you're going, knowing what's coming, and then just being prepared. So pack your snacks, ladies. Make sure that you don't get to that 3 p.m. hangry, because, that's going to be, 2 p.m. is that square to Jupiter where you're like, fuck, I'm out. I've had enough. All right. So after 1 Pluto, and then 6 and 8. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, the universe says yes. There you go. Watch for that 1, 2, 3 o'clock. So With that, my loves, I will see you tomorrow. Now, this feeling does sort of roll over into tomorrow a little bit. So again, just keep on top of yourself and love all that you do and those around you because why not? So, mwah, I love you guys and I will see you tomorrow.